Okay, so for 62 through 67, first you need to find the slope for each one. And then after you find the slope, you're going to create a, if it's parallel, then it has the same slope. And then if it's perpendicular, that means it's the negative inverse of the slope that you find. So first let's start with, remember it's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So here we have 3 minus negative 4, and then negative 5 minus 9. Okay, so 3 minus negative 4 is 7, and then negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14. So parallel would have the same slope, so it would just be negative, and these are just my signs to show you for parallel, negative 7 over 14. Perpendicular is the negative inverse, so it would make it a positive 14 over 7. Okay, and then for 63, we have, first you solve or find slope. Negative 7 minus 12 over 16 minus 7. And so we have negative 7 minus 12 would be negative 19 over 16 minus 7 is 9. Okay, so the parallel would be the same. So negative 19 over 9. The perpendicular is a negative inverse, so it turns into a positive 9 over 19. Okay. Down here for 64, we have 0 minus negative 6, and then 1 minus negative 5. And so we have 0, so that's like saying 0 plus 6. So that would be 6. And then that would be like saying 1 plus 5, so 6. All right, so here you have your parallel would be 6, 6, and then which equals 1, and then the negative inverse would be negative 1. Okay. Here we have negative 22 minus 13, negative 8 minus negative 8. And then, so negative 22 minus, 13, that would be negative 35 over, and then we have negative 8, so it's pretty much negative 8 plus 8. And that is 0. So here it would be the same, which equals 0. And then here it would be positive 0 over 35. Okay. The last ones we have, this is 66. Alright, so it is negative 28 minus negative 18, and then 30 minus 4. Okay, so negative 28 minus 18, negative 18, negative 28 minus negative 18, negative 10, 30 minus 4, that's 26. So here it's 26. Perpendicular would be the negative inverse, so 26 over 10. Okay. And last one of these. Sorry. We have 7 minus 6 and 5/10, then 2 and 8. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. 2 and 8/10 minus 6 and 8/10. All right. All right, so we have 7 minus 6, 5/10 or half. 2.8 minus 6.8, negative 4. So this would be, and then negative inverse, so it turns to positive over. Okay. Okay, on the next page, it says write equation with a given slope and y-intercept. So you'll use this form, which is y equals mx plus b. So, and you are given the slope, which is m equals negative 3/5, and you're also given the y-intercept, which is 0. So you would have y equals m, which is negative 3/5 x plus, and it gives you the y-intercept, which is 0. Okay, so for these next two, it's write the equation of the line that passes through the given point with the given slope. So you're going to use this formula, y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1, okay? So here it gave you your slope. So you have y minus, and then y1, which is negative 5. So you can really just put plus 5, equals slope, which is 7, times x, and then it's minus x1, but because this is already a negative, we can make that a plus 1. Okay, and now you just solve from here. So you have y plus 5. Go ahead and distribute your 7. So 7x plus 7. And then now we can subtract the 5, both sides, and we're left with y equals 7x plus 2. And that's, so it's brought it to the y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's go over here. Same thing. So y, and then it's minus 3 equals your slope, which is 3/7 times x, and then it's minus 5. Okay, so go ahead and you will distribute your 3/7. So y minus 3 equals 3/7 x, and then I am going to use a calculator here. All right, so what do we have? It is 3/7 times negative 5, and that is negative 2 1/7. You know what, I think I'm gonna leave that as minus, oh, here, 2 1/7, which is really here 2. We'll put 0.14. 4. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and add the 3. Okay, so we have y equals 3, 7x, and then we're going to add 3 to that, and it becomes 6/7 plus 6/7, which is also, or you could do y equals 3/7 x plus 0.85. Okay, these here are going to be very similar. We are just, it says write an equation of the line containing the given point. So this time we have to find the slope in order to get to the next step. So for slope here we have, so it is 4 minus -1 over -1 minus 0. Okay, so 4 minus -1 is 5. -1 minus 0 is -1. Okay, so there's our slope. Now we can put it into, or it's y minus, and then we have y1. No, actually we can just make that a plus 1 equals slope, which is 5. And let me do this. 5 divided by -1 is -5. Okay, so our slope can be -5. Then it's x minus x1, so minus 0. All right, so we need to distribute, so let's carry this down. Y plus 1 equals -5x. -5 times -0 is 0. Okay, so if you want, you can put plus 0. And then we're going to subtract 1. Okay, so now we have y equals -5x, and then minus 1. So there's your y equals mx, and then it's plus b. Okay. Same thing over here. We have, first we need to find our slope. So it is y2, which is 2, and then minus y1 minus -3 over 2 minus -2. So 2 minus -3, that equals 5, and this equals 4. Now we can plug it into the y minus y1, which is -3, so we'll just make that equals slope, which is 5/4, times x minus x1, which would be just plus 2. Now we're going to distribute, so y plus 3 equals 5/4x, and then let me do this. All right, so we have all right, so 5/4 times 2 is, so plus, let me just say 2.5. Okay, now we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and we have y equals 5/4 x, and then that minus 3 is -0.5. Okay. Okay, so for 7 and 8, to find the slope for this one, it's m equals 9 minus 9, and then 9 minus -6. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus -6 is 15. Then we'll put that in y minus 9 equals 0 over 15, and x plus 6. For this one, I'm going to stop there. I'm not sure that we can go much further because of the 0. If she goes over your answers tomorrow, just let me know on that. Okay, if I figure it out later, I will definitely let you know. Alright, here we have slope is, so we have 10 minus 6 over negative 5 minus negative 5. Okay, so we have 4 over 0. So y minus 6 equals 4 over 0, which equals 0. And then that is x plus 5. Again, with this one, because of that 0, I'm going to stop here because that means that there would not be a slope. All right. So let me know if she says anything tomorrow. If I end up figuring it out, because it's just not in my head at the moment, then I'll let you know. Okay, for these last two, you're writing an equation for the lines graphed. So here we can see where it intercepts on x and where it intercepts on y. So we're going to do it using a y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we'll start with y equals, and now slope. So if you start here, remember it's rise over run. Okay, so we're going to rise up 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here we meet it at the 3, so we're going to rise up 3, and then we're going to go over, and we are going over to the left, so what that means is going to be negative. So then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, over 5. So we have y equals negative 3/5 x plus b, which is the y-intercept, and it is the y is intercepting at positive 3, so plus 3. Okay. Number 10 is rather easy. There is no slope, there is no x, so your answer, and it's intercepting at positive 3, so it is y equals 3.